All right, here we had no reserve. We have this 75 Ford F250. A little bit of distance walking up this thing because I just want to show you guys how incredible this thing looks from in a distance. This will be a little bit of a longer video because this truck is spectacular. It has had a little bit of paint work over the years, but it's about 80% original paint. And so we'll kind of get into that, but it's a really rare color combo. We got the Marty report for it and everything. There wasn't very many with this color combo. My kids and I nicknamed this thing Butterfinger. We've had it for quite a while. We've driven around and enjoyed it. It has a 28 on the odometer, so it's really going to be your choice on what you believe the mileage is. I don't have a log, so I'll show you everything. Having a ton of these trucks and been around these trucks pretty much my whole life, the little things that I believe this thing is possibly 28,000 original miles or an extremely well cared for 128,000 miles. It hasn't been driven or registered since 2003 before we got it. Regularly on the road, it was fired up and driven around. So we've done quite a bit of work to it to make sure it's dependable and everything like that, and the list will be in the ad. But fuel pump, did a full tune-up on it. All the wires, the spark plugs, I think we still have them, were the original ones. I know we still have the wires and cap and rotor, but they were the original Ford ones, which is kind of one of the things that make me believe this is original miles. But also when you get down to the trim, how this has not been polished out. It does have some oxidization, but it's very little. A lot of these almost have that white look when by this time, you know, it's you know, what is it, 50, I guess it would be, yeah, it's 1975, so it's 50 years old. You don't have, a lot of them don't have this trim, isn't still this bright shiny look, and it's all the way around. Like some of the trims got some scuffs and stuff like that because it's got the years. It's got the original hubcaps. It's four-wheel drive with the full-time hubs up front. That's why they're not open with the four-wheel drive selector. We had the driveline because it does have the CV axle in there. We had the driveline rebuilt from Driveline Shop, painted up and done nice. It was about 800 bucks. They had the CV all rebuilt because the front driveline is different on the full-time four-wheel drive hubs than it is the ones that you select. So all the glass is original, including the front windshield. The front windshield one, you'll see a picture near the wiper. It is this tough to see, but it's right in the center there, and we have photos of that. All this paint on the driver's side is original. It looks like it's had maybe a dent in here and someone popped it out. But you'll see where it has had some of the paint work done on just to right here. It kind of just aged a little bit differently. And it's only in this area right here. Right here, it's the nicer orange. The brown is all good. Not sure what somebody had going on here. But you'll see some of the brown was done right here, and it's just got a little bit of, not cracking, but it's got some kind of just, had some effects underneath the paint, the way it was laid down, that it had a reaction. You also see along here, and you could put some diamond plate bed rails, tonneau cover to kind of cover that up, but you also could get probably some wet sandpaper and buff this out, and it'll blend in a little bit. It's just the blend points, like on the hood, that the paint looks different, so I'm not too sure why. But as you get to the back, you'll see it fades out and gets back to the original paint. So I'm gonna go around to the driver's side and kind of go through it, show you a little nicks and scratches. It was purchased brand new at Kendall Ford in Eugene. It's got dealer plate frames, still has its plates, its organ plates. You have a little bit of a scratch right here. Goodyear tires are in excellent condition. They have a 19 date code tire, so this shows this truck was taken care of, still fired up, still used around the property and stuff like that, but stored inside, as you can tell. All the rubbers are in really nice shape. Again, these are 50 years old. You do have one crack there. But any of you guys familiar, these men and women that are familiar with these trucks, the rubbers are going to take a hit after 50 years, especially if it wasn't garaged and taken care of. But look how nice it is here. It's nice and soft, flexible. You don't really see that. The door felts are in great shape, some minor cracking, but you don't have any of those scratches on the windows. The felts on the inside, I'll show you, are in excellent condition. Here you'll see the beautiful aluminum. Mirrors are in great shape. Little kind of chip right there, but the lower, it's got the fat lower trim. It's all still shiny. You're gonna get some little dings here and there, You know, someone put a screw in there to hold it down. This is stuff that just kind of happens. Little ding in the wheel well there from Mark, and a little screw that went in there. A little ding. You're gonna get some, you know, there's about 330 photos of this truck, so check them all out. You're gonna have these little marks, but again, original paint patina. This is how I love the trucks. I just couldn't be happier to get this truck, and I'm awesome to take care of it and be a caretaker for this thing. It's a 16-inch wheels, so it's not 16.5s that you'll have troubles with finding tires for. All the emblems are there. The corner trim looks nice. All the lenses are nice. These are beautiful, not popping away from the body. One thing also to make note of is this isn't dressed up with anything. This is the black molding. It's nice and dry. There's no armor all on it or anything to make it something it's not. A lot of times these are faded out, cracked, or missing, and this is kind of where I believe these miles could be original on this truck. And regardless if you believe it's 128 or 28,000, it's still the truck in front of us. It's just a fantastic vehicle. You have the Kendall decal, the condition of that thing, how nice it is for 50 years old. These things did not last. I mean, that's why a lot of dealerships put the metal screw-in plate, but this is just a sticker, and it's just beautiful. Got a little bit of, you know, chips and scratches. I think I had a canopy on it at one point. That's why you get this wear. Inside the bed is fantastic. This is a complete rust-free truck. Tailgate opens nice and easy. But you look at the inside of the tailgate, I think it had a canopy on it that had the doors on the back or something, because the inside of the tailgate is in phenomenal condition. Barely anywhere. And then the hardware here looks like maybe when they went to go put the tailgate on, they grabbed ones from a different truck. Somebody had to source it. So that's what I believed happened, and I think most of this wear is from, you know, something, you know, a camper being in there. It does have the wiring down below for an old school type camper if you wanted to hook it up. So I think it had one of those big campers in it, and that's basically all they used it for and why it had such low miles. Shuts nice and loud, of course. Again, you see some wear here, and I think this would be probably, if you had a camper, you had some of those little chains coming down and worn the paint a little bit. And you'll see the original paint underneath it. So it kind of just shows evidence of a little bit of paint work there too. Some marks on the trim there. You can get new wheel well trim, and I probably would on this truck because it doesn't really take away from the originality, and they're cheap, and it really would dress it up and make it look good. So I would probably get new trim. This one got a little bit banged up, and I think it's probably along the same reason as the other one. It's got the toolbox option, which is always so cool. No rust anywhere. You'll see some surface rust in here. Really common to see some rusting. There's a hole in the middle, but I think it was a drilled hole, because you'll see it's super circular like this one. But there is some surface rust here you would maybe want to clean up. But actual structural rust or cancer or panels or anything like that, we're good to go. Again, you got the Carlite logo. This was a factory optioned rear slider, and that is the way the original one would come. And again, you can see some evidence of taping and from the respray on just the passenger side. Take you to the driver's side, and you'll see there's been no paint work. But again, this shows you the rubbers have not pulled back. Again, you see no taping, no overspray, no tape line or anything. But you can see the rubbers aren't cracked. They will shrink over time, and you'll see a gap. This truck doesn't get that. It gets no leaks on the inside of any type of water. Kind of showed you all that stuff. Take you down here, a little scratch, ding in the wheel well. Beautiful looking wheels and caps. And the caps are in excellent condition. Caps like this alone sometimes will get you $1,000 nowadays, which I know some people who used to use them as bolt collectors who have their mind blown, but they're just hard to find nowadays in 2025. They're just desirable pieces. So we'll hop inside where it's really nice. It's got the kind of the dark brown. I'd have to look at the Marty report, what they call it. But there's just a kind of a stress crack over time there. 2 screws punched in, kind of some stuff people did. Just to kind of, it's nice to see they didn't want it to just be hanging. But you can see there's no tape around this, no paint markings. I have full pictures with flash. You have some surface rust down here just from the years, but it's all good, strong metal. No rust issues. Again, a little bit of wear factory decal with the VIN number. You can see it's all factory paint. Looking beautiful. Nice door jambs. This is one thing, the dome light striker. I have it unhooked so the battery doesn't go dead right now, but I'll take pictures of the dome light working. These are usually wasted. The little things like this, the condition of this thing shows the low miles and care. The condition of the pedals, the wear on them. The seat, you know, you do have a little crack here, but again, you got to keep in mind this is 50 years old. You're gonna have a little hole right here. These just did not last. I mean, these trucks were not built to, you know, 50 years later and 100, 200,000 miles to be in good shape. Got the gun racks, fuel tank with stampings. So someone's gonna be super stoked with this truck. It's just amazing. It's probably one of the best and one of my favorite trucks, or you know, classics that we've come across and been able to obtain. It just is. I took it home for a little bit, and it was parked next to our 85 K10 that I drove home, and I just loved coming home every day and seeing these two next to each other. All the floor mat looks great. You got a little bit of aging around here, so you could get a new boot. You got all the original brochures. I got a bunch of pictures of these. Just super cool stuff to go over all the options. The glove box opens with ease. You got your original owner's manuals jacket sitting in here. Again, all the cardboard is in great shape, showing you don't have any condensation. This hasn't been left out. No molds got in here. No water issues. And kind of just shows that low mile cares. Again, you got your striker. Look how good that works. I've never seen one of these that says, have a good Ford summer. And it's for your Western Ford dealer, because we're on the Western Washington, or the Western United States, I mean. Got all your books, all the goodies. You got your manual here on the 75 Ford. Wish I would have brought the Marty report, but I left it on the desk. So I will have it for the driving video, and I'll have it on in the photos. But it says Dear Westerner, which is the western side of the United States. It's super cool. Welcome to the Ford family. That stuff is super fun. Original 8-track stereo. It doesn't work, but I have it. It's got a, what does it have? A Marty Robbins in there. You stick it in there. It doesn't really do much, but a cool thing is people rebuild those things nowadays, so you will be able to get that fixed if you want to. Nice seat belts are in excellent condition. Look at one of those things is not missing this little decal that goes in there. The button's not missing. Look at the overall condition of this seat belt. It's little things like this to me that really stand out on this truck. A lot of the stuff gets looked over by people and maybe don't even care. But to me, I love this stuff. The stories, the originality, the history, and is what makes the soul of these vehicles, and I just love them. This door panel is great condition. The plastics always age a little different than vinyl, so they look like two different colors. But no screws in this one. Very little wear getting in. Again, no rust. Very quiet and sound truck, and I'll take you for a driving video so you can see how well it goes. Again, all the trim is beautiful and bright. The hood jams nice. The hood gap's really nice. Those things sometimes, if people mess with the hood hinges or they get wore out, they'll be a little higher in the front or a little lower. All the gaps look fantastic. This wasn't in any type of collision or anything, so I'm not too sure why it had some paint work there, but if they could talk to us. And again, you see the condition of the trim, how shiny it is. And you could tell, I haven't gone through and polished it up and buffed it out. It'd give a different look. You still have some little imperfections and oxidization, because I like to keep that honest originality, because they tell the story of the truck, of how it's been cared for the last 50 years. And the same follows underneath the hood. You know, we did radiator cap, flushed the fluids. All the fluids are fresh. Did full tune-up, fuel pump, stuff like that. The battery was just put in before we just got it, so it's a 24, so it's great. But you'll see that somebody has done the valve cover gaskets at one point, a long time ago. Looks like maybe they did the intake manifold gasket too, and they painted it. But other than that, it's very clean. And you know, honest. Like, look at the head. There's not a lot of bunch of grease. You can see those new spark plug wires looking sharp. Second battery options, not all rusted out. Your horn connection looks great. Battery box in here is not rusted out. And again, we'll get photos of that. Its tie downs are still intact. This part I had to leave. I do love it. This is just stuff that people did back in the days. I don't know why you would want to turn the hot water from going to the heater core, but it actually works. I turned it off and heater doesn't blow cold. You spin it and you open it up. So I'm not too sure why you do that, but I left it in there just because it's part of the history of this vehicle, and it's you want to pop it out. It's a few dollar part and literally 10 minutes. But I don't know, I just kind of like it. So you got your jack here, it's intact. This is all nice. The lid isn't busted. Look at, it's not all brittle. Look how it's still flexible. Power brake booster. Master cylinder's been replaced. It looks like not too long ago. Underneath the hood, again, look at these little guys. Not missing or tore up. No rust along here. We all know these dent sides get rust under here. It's looking great. Of course, you got surface rust there, but that's no biggie. Again, no rust. So this 75 Ford F250 Highboy is going at no reserve. Just amazing piece. And I'm already super excited for the new owner and its next stage in life. So good luck, everyone. It's going to go at no reserve.